Hi, people who are bothering to check in. I was very disappointed by the lack of viewership last week, as it was a intense and revealing video. And I put a lot of energy into these videos, so when people don't bother to watch them, it kind of feels like a slap in the face, to be perfectly honest with you. But again, I can't personalize it. You all have your own lives, as I have mine. So this week I'm not doing a proper weekly video. Not as punishment, or to be withholding, but because, the energy of this time is, we have Mercury, Mars, of course the Sun in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is dense and perhaps troubling at times, and certainly you can have as much sheen and shine as you want in your life on the surface, but in Scorpio season, inevitably there is a resurfacing of not so much old wounds as the sentiments, the vastness of perhaps even the sense of a void of great darkness, the shadows. In my life, I'm kept so extraordinarily busy that I barely have time to contemplate that, but it exists nonetheless. And when I have quiet moments, frustrations boil to the surface, all of my insecurities, lack of visibility, lack of reinforcement, the inability to meet a romantic partner, the inability to build, it's not the inability to build new friendships, but perhaps my own lack of enthusiasm to invest fully in not even particular people, but just the idea of it. It's like I've become very insular and perhaps even more embracing of my introverted nature, and I think obviously this season is, deeply reinforces that. So I look forward to Sagittarius season, because that will shift for me, particularly as a fire sign. So here we are in another deep dive. It hasn't really required so much of a conscious effort to dive deep, but perhaps that's my shortcoming, because I actually had a little explosive emotionality this afternoon. So yeah, instead of doing my weekly, I spent the day doing a deep reorganization and cleaning of my apartment, trying to balance that in between all the work demands that were put upon me unexpectedly. And so this video is really just to reassure you that if you are feeling any of that is what you should be feeling right now. And I don't really think that we need cards to guide us through that. Perhaps even sometimes, because I try so hard to make my videos helpful, in the sense that, I don't want to focus on, the dreariness or the drudgery or the struggles and the emotional pain. I want to focus on the light and finding ways towards the light, but sometimes we have to acknowledge that as human beings, we don't have any purpose without the fullness of our emotional range. which means embracing the shadows in order to let go. And that's really what this period is all about. For me, there's a deep sense of mourning, because there are many things that I have held on to my whole life that obviously we've talked about this, that I've let go of these constructs and these emotional anchors. But they still existed fundamentally. The void was still filled with those, even if only as a reference point. And this season is all about eliminating not only the placeholders, the remnants, but embracing making space for something new that probably will manifest as soon as we've done that work, or at least it will start to. So that is my message for you. It's a very short one this week, but worthy of contemplation. I recommend that we all try to find the time to meditate and sit in quietude with our thoughts and observe our emotions, and try not to get distracted from them or seek out too much escapism from them. I mean, eventually we all need to escape from these things a little bit because they are a little too heavy, but make sure that before you escape with booze, weed, television, sport, whatever it is, that you are at least taking the time to acknowledge these energies and how they are affecting you, and think of them as the wind to your sail in order to get to Sagittarius season, which is only a couple of weeks away. There are some beautiful planetary aspects on the horizon, so including this week to come. So be open to those things. Venus is in Capricorn now, and that, Capricorn is all about structure and rules, and so because we've emptied out so much of the old, we're redefining those things, or we're defining new emotional boundaries and new emotional rules, and how we live and what rules we live by. So there's great beauty in that. It's empowering because it's a choice at this point for those of us that have been doing that work to evolve. But it doesn't mean that it's not hard work. So on that note, I really will shut up now. I wish you an amazing week to come. May it be full of useful and welcome lessons. That's it. Peace out. Maybe I'll do a video in the week where I speak more about the energies, but I maybe even use some cards. But today it just didn't feel like the right time.